Hello everyone, I am Vishal. In my earlier video on this topic, I've explained how retail individuals are lured to trade in options buying and how they are exploited by the brokers with the gross malpractice of levying physical delivery margin (PDM) as soon as the position turns ITM, creating artificial shortfall and liquidating the positions immediately or anytime at their leisure and whims the same day. In this video, I would attempt to elaborate the same, as I've been highlighting to NSE and SEBI for years now, unfortunately, to no avail. The brokers are not supposed to liquidate clients' positions in the name of PDM shortfall during the day when the position turns ITM on the basis of spot price or last traded price, LTP, because the applicability of PDM comes into play only and only at the end of the day, EOD, starting expiry minus 4 days. And whether any options position is ITM or not is also not decided on the basis of the spot price or LTP, but it is decided on the basis of the last 30 minutes of the weighted average closing price of the underlying stock at the EOD. So the brokers tagging the positions on the basis of the spot price or LTP as ITM for levy of PDM is grossly wrong, let alone blocking clients' funds or demanding such PDM during the day. This malpractice by the brokers in a way deprives the clients from using their available funds for other trades, creates an artificial shortfall in their account in the name of PDM, and results in liquidation of their positions, and that too without reasonable intimation and time to replenish the shortfall. This whole game by the brokers would hardly let any options buyer win. If this grossly wrong and non-compliant practice of the brokers is banned, options sellers will have to run for their money for those positions turning ITM during the expiry days. But it is a distant dream for retail individual investors, mostly options buyers, because not only the exchange and the regulator supports the brokers for such wrongdoing, they defend brokers by quoting the point from terms and conditions that reads, "The stockbroker is permitted in its sole and absolute discretion to collect additional margins, even though not required by the exchange, clearing house clearing corporation or SEBI, and the client shall be obliged to pay such margins within the stipulated time." I've repeatedly questioned the NSE and SEBI that of course the brokers should have the right to levy additional margins if they find any unaddressed risk and their risk management policy wants to avert it, so long as they define such risk and its management plan with reasonable time given to the clients if it requires any additional margins from the clients. But well-defined physical delivery margin requirement, implemented in a phased manner 5 days prior to the expiry, with heavy penalty on clients for not complying with it, leaves absolutely no unaddressed risk for the brokers to manage. PDM is not an upfront margin that needs to be paid in advance, neither its applicability can be confirmed during the market hours, is a non-upfront margin whose applicability is determined at the close of the day only, and if applicable, will be levied at the EOD on T-day, reported at the EOD on T-day by means of daily margin statement to the clients, and permitted to be paid by T+1 day, failing which will result in a heavy penalty for the clients. Also, it must be client's discretion if he wants to hold the position despite not having PDM at the cost of the penalty. So if the client thinks that his position can get him better returns over the penalty, he may choose not to pay for any shortfall in the PDM while holding such ITM positions till next day in spite of the shortfall in the PDM. Let me also mention that there is a well-defined provision in the daily margin statement through which the brokers can demand and report additional margins for their RMS. But you will not see any broker using this. If the brokers are using PDM and not any additional margins required per their RMS, subverts this well-defined mechanism to levy PDM and deprives the clients of using their available funds during the day by blocking it, or deprives their right of holding their position till the EOD by liquidating it, or deprives their right to hold the position without paying PDM while accepting the penalty. It is gross non-compliance by the brokers, and NSE and SEBI knowingly ignores that the brokers are using PDM mechanism wrongly to their advantage. While this is not enough, I am sure if you are trading in options, you must have practically experienced it, that some brokers do not even give sufficient time to reduce your positions or arrange to replenish the wrongly levied PDM in case it results in shortfall and liquidates the positions immediately, while majority gives very less time to manage it during the day itself. And the irony is that almost all such brokers also allow the same position to be taken for intraday, whose auto square off time would be 5-10 minutes before the EOD. The point here is that those who have been carrying such positions and also end up having their available funds blocked for the day are at the mercy of the brokers for the wrong liquidation of their positions at the broker's leisure and whims, while those who have taken such positions intraday can hold it till the auto square off time without any worry. The least the brokers can do is to convert such positions to intraday or keep such positions open till their auto square off time, or exercise this grossly wrong and non-compliant practice only one day before the expiry. But who cares? As you understand, there is absolutely no risk in keeping such positions open till the auto square off time right before the EOD. Neither there is any risk in keeping it open overnight to collect the shortfall as a result of PDM applicability, if determined for it to be collected after market hours or the next day as defined and permitted. Yet the brokers, without explaining the risk, demand such huge amount as the position tons ITM, basis the spot price, blocks the available funds, and liquidates the position absolutely irrationally in the event of a shortfall. If you've ever complained to the brokers about this wrongdoing of theirs, the first response you would have received is copy-pasted text from the NSE circular stating the physical delivery margin requirement starting expiry -4 days. But when they cannot defend themselves by any ways, they will resort to the terms and conditions I quoted earlier. And even that point by no means can justify their wrongdoing. Yet both NSE and SEBI shockingly ignores it. We strongly believe that brokers are using this as a tool to benefit themselves, their closed ones, and those who are big bulls involved in selling the options. Because there is no set rules about liquidations of such positions, unlike a fixed auto square off time for intraday positions, and the brokers can exploit this situation as an arbitrage opportunity while liquidating clients' positions at their leisure and whims. I also believe that if this grossly wrong and non-compliant practice is curbed by the regulator, there will be a considerable improvement in the 90% number of loss-making retail individuals in the options segments. I've been fighting against the malpractice by the brokers for around 3 years, but neither the NSE nor the SEBI is paying any heed to it. While all my claims and complaints are pending and dragged by both NSE and SEBI indefinitely, while I continue to bear the brunt of it, I really hope this video reaches to all the options buyers The right authorities and good sense will prevail someday when the brokers and exchanges will be penalized heavily for this wrong practice, and my claims and complaints will be addressed positively. Do share your views and comments, and share this with your friends and colleagues who may be benefited from the same, so as to reach the dumb and deaf ears of the exchange and regulator. In good faith, thank you, and have a very good day.